Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad new Fangled motion picture show. So, Nolan,
Yeah.
are you ready to review a movie?
Yes.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves' catchphrase, by the way, in John Wick 3, or John Wick
His
Chapter
catchphrase
3.
is no longer whoa.
No.
Oh.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, not Parabolum.
Parabellum is actually supposed to be 2 words.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's since been strung
so, yeah, I mean...
in the original Latin.
Well, yeah. But in regards to the 9mm round, it is one word. Because it's the name of the round. But anyway, we're here to review John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, starring everyone's favorite cool dude, Keanu. I'm one of your reviewers for this evening or morning or whatever. Niall.
We don't judge.
Yeah.
And I'm Nolan.
Yep. And we're gonna do a spoiler-free review. And then give you a spoiler warning and go more in depth into it after that, as we typically do. Not that there's a whole lot to spoil about a John Wick movie, because it's a badass action movie. Lots of cool gunfights, lots of cool close-up fights, lots of cool dog like biting people in gunfights. Although I guess that's new to the series. Like, not a dog being in it, because, you know, dog is in every John Wick movie.
Yeah.
But, like, the dogs actually in this one are pretty cool. They bite dudes. Right in the nuts.
A lot of nut bites.
A lot of nut bites. That's how you know that's what makes them, like, more threatening. Yeah, this movie was great. John Wick, once again, telling the rest of Hollywood, this is how you make a freaking action movie. You know, the things you've come to expect from a John Wick movie, the long cuts in fight scenes, the cool gun play.
Something I had started to like just really hate in action movies was the rapid cuts, the shaky cam, and the super close.
Well, that's how they fight boring. That's how they hide boring choreography and hide the fact that
unskilled
the
fighters,
unskilled. But as you may or may not know, the John Wick series, the fighting is all choreographed and performed by a bunch of stuntmen, like actual stuntmen, who many of whom worked on The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, and so that's why, you know, and you see a lot of people when talking about the John Wick series who are not aware enough of film production to really put into words what it is they like about it. You know, they talk about how there's just something about the fight scenes that they like. They don't necessarily really know what it is. But yeah, it turns out that you like subconsciously notice that there's these really long takes in these fight scenes. Like that whole... Not a spoiler, because this happens in the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie, but there's this really cool fight scene through an antique shop. That's really cool, and there were some really long shots in that fight scene where they're, like, smashing display cabinets as they go through, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if they screw up one of these, like, throwing a dude into a display cabinet thing, and, like, oh, we screwed up, and we have to go back to the beginning and shoot this whole sequence again, that's a lot of fake glass to replace.
Yeah, there was a lot of throwing guys through cabinets and breaking into cabinets to pull out weapons.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a really cool sequence. But yeah, the John Wick series at this point is known for having a bunch of really cool set pieces to have really cool gun battles and fight scenes through. And then the story is just sort of a vessel to take you to the different set pieces. And this movie does exactly that. Also, if you haven't seen the first 2 movies, this movie does not give you any backstory. It fully expects you to have seen the first two movies.
But why are you seeing the third movie in a series if you haven't seen the first two anyway?
Hey man, didn't we go to see Fast and the Furious 7 or something?
I don't know that counts.
I mean, doesn't it?
I guess.
But yeah, this movie goes like, oh, you haven't seen the other John Wick movies? Oh well, here we go.
Have fun.
Yeah, which I like. I appreciate.
It picks up right where the previous one left off. So, like, these three movies exist in the span of like 2 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah. So,
Yeah.
I highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it already. This is just a really neat, like, criminal underworld setting that they've come up with.
Yeah, and they expand on it even more.
Yeah, they do.
This.
They
like
do.
where like the first one you just sort of touch on it, and the second one they expand on it a lot. And this one, it's not quite as much as they did in the second one, but they still expand on it more with like this, like more in depth into like its origins and like certain like roles that some people have within the organization.
Yep. And Ian McShane is there in all his leathery goodness as well.
Also Jerome Flynn and all his leathery goodness.
A lot of leathery dudes in this, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a really great movie. I mean, and I think it's got to be doing well. We saw it in an almost packed theater on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And there was one of the big theaters at this multiplex we went.
And this is this is a multiplex where during the week it's almost dead.
Yeah,
all the time.
Well, even on the weekends it's usually pretty dead. I don't know how they stay in business. I mean,
yeah.
I'd never seen the place particularly busy except for when I saw Tron Legacy there.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. That was the midnight.
Well, every once in a while we'll go to see, like, if it's a big release, it'll be busy, but
yeah,
most of the time we go there, it's not that many people.
Where the other two theaters we frequent are always packed.
Yeah.
No matter what night, they're always busy.
Well, I think this place's problem is its location, and just the sort of people that live in that neighborhood are like mostly retired.
Yeah, so then not a lot of them are going to see a John Wick movie on a Tuesday night,
right?
Like we were.
It's a lot of retired people in the area. So
yes, but the fact that we're getting at though is the fact that this theater was packed on a Tuesday night to see this movie. I think is a really good sign for it, and this movie deserves to do really well. But so yeah, go see it. It's got like an 8.3 on IMDb, 8.2 on IMDb, which is criminally low, I think, for this movie. I'm just saying.
Did you see that Rotten Tomatoes is going to start making people like have to prove that they actually saw the movie they're rating?
Oh, thank goodness.
So they have to put in like the ticket stub number or something. I don't know how they're exactly going to do it, but they were talking about that they want to start doing that.
Do you like this movie? This series does a lot of stereotyping of Russians. You notice that?
There's a lot of Russians in it, though.
Yeah,
a lot of Russian characters.
So, but is that all we can say without
spoiling? Yeah, I think so.
All right, so spoiler warning henceforth.
Yep.
So I was expecting there to be more Halle Berry in this movie, just because they made a really big deal out of her being in it in the promotional
Well, I mean, she was in the second largest gunfight in the movie.
That's true. I do like the fact that the largest gunfight in the movie had what's his name? Who's the concierge at the hotel?
Yeah,
that dude's cool.
Did they give him a name anywhere?
Yeah, played by Lance Reddick.
Karen, Sharon, Karen,
Charon?
Sharon.
I don't know. That chick that played the adjudicator was like weird to look at, right?
She's kind of androgynous.
But she just had these like weird head movements, like a bird almost.
I think that was like on purpose.
I'm sure it was.
They were trying to like make her like seem like less human or something. Yeah, there's this new position within the organization, the adjudicator, and so she's basically an investigator for the high table. And so she's investigating John Wick. Like they know like John Wick killed a guy on
hallowed ground.
Hallowed ground,
or they call it consecrated.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, consecrated at the hotel,
the Flatiron Building.
Yeah, and
which is
so she's investigating
the Continental.
Yeah,
That's
Continental.
the name of the name of the hotel.
So she's investigating everyone that basically didn't stop him, and in some cases helped him.
Like Lawrence Fishburne, King of the Hobos.
Bowery King.
King of the Hobos.
I didn't see. I got from the second one that the Bowery was not actually affiliated with them.
I think I was kind of meaning to go back and rewatch the second one before doing this, but I just didn't have time this week. I kind of think that maybe the Bowery is is not affiliated with the Continental, because the beef was with the Continental initially, killing that guy there, and that's where the beef was. And then the fact that like all this shit went down, the high table got involved. I think I would need to rewatch the second one. It's been a bit.
Yeah, me too. And second one's like a lot more complex than the first one.
Yeah. And I mean this movie's left off like to make another sequel, which I hope they keep making these movies forever. They're so good.
Yeah. I like though when they show up to punish Lawrence Fishburne and he's holding the pigeon and he's like, "Cover your eyes, sweetie."
Yeah.
Like he puts his hand over the pigeon's head.
Yeah. That was pretty amusing.
What he's talking about, he's like, he uses his pigeon network. He's like, it can't be hacked, it can't be spied on or anything stuff. And the adjudicator's like, well, can't you catch a disease from? Well, I wouldn't recommend you eat one.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, I would absolutely watch a show about just like smaller names at the Continental.
Oh, it could be a what's the word I'm looking for? Where each episode is more or less unrelated. Like Twilight Zone was.
Like Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, but then the one like central
Black
thing,
Mirror.
the one central thing that links them all though is the Continental.
Yeah.
So each episode you just follow someone who's staying there or whatever, and then on whatever job that they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool.
I think that'd be a really cool story.
Wasn't there talk about some John Wick series like set in the John Wick universe on Netflix or something?
Man, I hope so.
I thought there was talk about that at some point.
Maybe.
I could be
I'd
wrong,
watch
but
the hell out
I
of
kind
that if
of
that existed and I knew about it.
Kind of remember something about that.
But yeah, so yeah.
There's also a very loud fight in a library.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the movie.
With this huge dude.
Dude, man, the woman next to me when he had that book in that dude's mouth and kept hitting it. The woman next to me was going like, "Oh, John, don't do that."
Like he's being too violent for her taste.
I guess.
Like, John's my hero, but sometimes he's a little too violent.
I'm like, lady, this is John Wick. Like, what do you want?
She herself is a librarian. She doesn't like to see books abused.
Like,
I was expecting the librarian to show up and be like, "Shh," and then like walk away, not try to stop the fight or get upset by the fight. She's just like, "Shh."
Yeah, don't try to stop the fight. It is the New York Public Library.
Well, no, but it'd be funny because if she were like also, knew about this underworld,
like
and
the cabbie.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, the movie's just really freaking good. Um, but I kind of don't really have anything else to say about it other than go see it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just like a lot of cool fight scenes. One thing also they bring in that's cool is Jerome Flynn, Master of Coin,
Oh
is
yeah,
also Master of Coin. He owns the facility where they mint all the gold coins
yep.
for this.
And the discs with the blood.
Yeah, the one where you
thumbprint.
make like the whatever it's called, where you make like the blood pack thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make all those.
Yeah. So that was just that was what basically what they did to expand on this world. That and adding the adjudicator.
Yeah.
And implying that like, yeah, the high table gets involved when the rules are broken. You know.
Right. And then like the high table SWAT team.
That was really cool, man. It's a lot of really like satisfying shotgun deaths, like point blank in a dude's chest.
Well, it's kind of like they're getting ready. They're gonna assault the Continental, and it's like John and the concierge guy, and he's like, they've made some advances in body armor, so here's some like armor penetrating rounds, and so they can't penetrate this armor though, even with the armor penetrating rounds. And so like John's like running up to guys and flipping up their face masks and shooting them in the face and stuff. And they go back into the like their armory, and he's like, advances in body armor, huh? And so he pulls out this shotgun. And he's like, solid slugs armor or something.
Yeah, it's like some sab. I think it were like saboed shotgun rounds or something.
Yeah. So then they're using shotguns, and that's.
I mean,
when they get hit, they go
dudes,
flying backwards.
I don't think they're hitting dudes from further than like 10 feet away with them either.
Some of them, like a lot of them, point blank.
Yeah, a lot of them are like, well, that would just kill a guy with the muzzle flash. You know.
Could you imagine though, like from 6 inches away, that a 12 gauge slug hitting you?
Well, I've seen that with a watermelon from about a foot away. So yeah,
I mean, even through that, even if the body armor stops it from penetrating you, just the the concussion of it is going to like liquefy your organs.
So
yeah,
probably. I mean, if nothing else, it's gonna stop your heart.
Mm-hmm.
That compression right there.
So,
but yeah,
John got to use the third gun now. He hadn't used like shotguns really before, has he?
No, I thought he did in
Did he?
the second one.
I don't remember.
Also,
judicious use of a horse.
Watching him reload the shotgun, I was like, and here's where you can tell Keanu Reeves did 3-gun training for this movie.
Yeah.
Just like the way he like flips the thing over and cradles it and just like quick hands all the shells into the tube. And it keeps the one on the side of the shotgun to drop in when he knocks the bolt forward to when he does a full reload after an empty.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like shit like that. I'm like, and that is where the 3-gun training is paying off for Keanu.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that was really cool to see.
I also liked his use of a horse.
Just keep having to kick the dude
in
the
faces. There's this part, these guys are chasing him, and he runs into the stables where they keep all the horses that pull the carriages in Central Park. And so he would like get like he would lure a guy behind a horse and then slap the horse, so the horse would kick the guys in the chest or the head.
Like I said, it's a bunch of set pieces. It's like it's almost like they write these movies the way the Uncharted games are written, where it's like, here's a really neat idea for a set piece to have the characters move and fight through. Mm-hmm. So how do we make the story work that puts them in that set piece?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just, man, this is a good movie. Go see it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, what our next movie's Aladdin, right?
Yeah, we're seeing that this weekend.
Yep. Go away, IMDb ad. Yeah, and then next weekend is Godzilla King of the Monsters, which looks really cool. Oh man, it looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
and Rocket Man, which looks pretty good. We're seeing both of those.
Yeah.
Then we got Dark Phoenix, which looks not great. It doesn't look as bad as Age of Apocalypse.
No.
Which maybe they just have a better trailers. Because I remember the trailers for Age of Apocalypse watching them going, ooh, this is going to be bad.
The Men in Black International.
Yep. And Shaft and The Dead Don't Die all on the same weekend. That's going to be a busy one. That's second weekend in June?
Are we out of town?
We're out of town that weekend.
Oh, man.
Welp.
Well, one of those we could see.
Two of them we can see. We'll have to figure out which ones to prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see all three, but two we can see before that weekend, right?
Yeah. Then the weekend after that's Toy Story 4.
What's that? Back to the Fatherland.
It's a documentary. Apparently.
About Nazis?
I don't know, man. I don't have time to read that. It's not something we're seeing. And then it looks like the end of June, we finally have a weekend where we don't have anything. Oh, no, we're seeing Yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not a great Metascore.
Oh. You're just not Beatles fans, I guess.
Bunch of people.
Is Three Peaks a sequel to Twin Peaks?
I don't know. Already clicked away from the page. And then in July is Spider-Man. And Stuber looks really good. I'm excited for Stuber. Lion King, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, man, we've got a busy summer ahead of us, so look forward to those things. Or else. It says July 5th release date for Spider-Man Far From Home, but I have tickets for that Tuesday, which is the 2nd.
No.
That's weird. Yeah, so that's what we got coming up. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, go ahead and subscribe or don't. It turns out it doesn't actually matter that much. So do what you want. I ain't gonna force you. And here's to hoping Will Smith doesn't try to emulate Robin Williams as the genie, because I think that would just be bad.
Yeah.
So, until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodles.